Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Denise Douglas. So glad you could join us this evening.
Well, a Prince George's officer fatally shoots a man who police say may have been stealing license plates in the Henson Creek Apartments in Temple Hills. Around 7 a.m., a resident in the 3300 block of Huntley Square called police saying someone was stealing items from his car. A responding officer tried to speak with the suspect on Brinkley Road, but he ran into the apartment complex. Officers later found him in the laundry room. Police say the suspect failed to follow commands and pulled a handgun on the officers.
One of the other officers, who is in closer proximity to the individual, observes that that individual has reached into his waistband and armed himself with a handgun. At that point, the officer grabs that weapon, trying to prevent that weapon from A, being pointed at one of the officers, B, as our training takes our officers through, trying to prevent additional shots. He did sustain significant injuries to his hand as that subject was firing at us. At that point, the officer who had attempted to tase the individual then produces his handgun, fires a single shot, and the suspect drops to the ground. Before crossing Brinkley Road to this side of the street, that individual discards what is described as 2 license plate tags from 2 different vehicles, and this is substantively what the citizen called about.
Well, the suspect has not been identified. None of the officers was seriously injured in the incident.
The death toll in the Carolinas has reached 23 as floodwaters continue to rise in the wake of Hurricane Florence, now a tropical depression. Hundreds of thousands of residents are still without power. More than 11 roads remain shut down, including portions of I-95 through the Carolinas. Flash flood watches and warnings, as well as evacuation orders, are still being issued. In Fayetteville, people there were ordered out as authorities fear the possible breach of a dam. Making matters worse, tornadoes. 2 touched down in Wayne County, damaging homes and trees. Authorities say it will take days before high waters recede. University of Maryland and the Red Cross are partnering up to assist Hurricane Florence evacuees. Some of those affected are sheltering in place at the Ritchie Coliseum as the storm continues to ravage the Carolinas. Red Cross volunteers are offering food, shelter, and even future permanent residence in Maryland to displaced victims from the storm.
We're assisting folks that were displaced by the hurricanes down in the Carolinas. We actually have 3 families that are here right now, and we're just trying to meet those immediate needs of food, clothing, and shelter, as well as meeting some of those health service needs that some of them have.
I appreciate all the workers, and I mean, they were very lovely to the children and me, myself. I mean, like I said, they took good care of me.
We have plenty of room, we have plenty of resources. We encourage them to go to any of the shelters that are located between there's 22 shelters between Tennessee, Kentucky, Maryland. They're all out there. They can contact their local Red Cross, or they can go to redcross.org. They can talk to any of their state or county officials, and they can find out where those shelters are. And like I said, there's plenty of room. They're more than welcome.
The goal of the partnership is to provide financial and emotional support for families affected during this very difficult time.
Well, don't put away your umbrella and jacket just yet, because that flash flood and tornado watch have been issued for much of the D.C. area. Now, as Hurricane Florence weakens, heavy rain and scattered thunderstorms are expected tonight. Residents should keep in mind that gusty winds could lead to downed trees and possible power outages. The National Weather Service says flooding is likely through midweek for the Potomac River Basin.